want to know your song, yes. I'll show you the way, the way, the way, far from the world you'd know. Look for love in the music, lost in the melody. You'll find love, yes. Look for love in the music, lost in the melody. You'll find love, music in the air. It makes the sorrows go. Let the music take you there, far from the world you know. Thank you, thank you. I don't know why. Hi. Good evening once again. We're here to entertain you. Hope you're enjoying your night and you're having a splendid time. I go by the name of Tandom Caesar and I am not alone. I'm with Tepo Mokwena. Please do enjoy. You make my soul a burning fire. You're getting to be my one desire. You're getting to be all that matters to me. And let me tell you, boy, I light a candle every day. A little more love I have to give. A little more love that's devoted and true. 'Cause all I do is think about you. Yeah, baby, it's think about you. I'm thinking about you. Oh, oh, it's think about you. Baby, just suppose I should happen to cross your mind. And there's a chance a girl like me you didn't even find, try to find. Well, let me tell you, boy, think of how exciting it would be if you should discover you feel like me. If you should discover this world is for two. Oh, yeah. If I cannot have you for my own, I'd rather be lonely, 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 head alone. I'd rather be thinking the way I do. 'Cause all I do is think about you. Yeah, babe, just think about you. I'm thinking, yeah, yeah, babe. 'Cause I'm thinking, 'cause I'm thinking, yes, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking, baby, yes, give it to me, baby, yes. Said I'm thinking, baby, oh, show it to me, baby. Hey, I'm thinking, baby, give it to me, baby. Thank you very much. Hope you guys are still having a great time and enjoying yourselves as you're about to die and everybody looks so beautiful tonight. Enjoy yourselves. Sanbonani, Sanbonani, Sanbonani. Today we are here to give you songs, Sanbonani everywhere. I go by the name of Tandum Caesar and I'm not alone. I'm actually with my brother, Tepo Mokwena. Please do enjoy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tepo. Come on, thank you guys. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I go by the name of Tandom Caesar, and I'm not alone. I'm with Tepo Hamukwena. Please do enjoy yourselves. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can't believe that you're a dream coming true. I can't believe how I have fallen for you. And I was not looking, was content to remain. How could I ever, I have lost without you. You are the one who came into my life. How could I have lost? 'Cause I am lost without you. Oh, I can't believe that you're a dream coming true. I can't believe how I have fallen for you. And I was not looking, was content and dreaming. Oh, it's ironic how I've fallen for you. You are the one who's came into my life. How could I have lost? 'Cause I am lost without you. I can't believe it. You're a dream coming true. I can't believe I've fallen for you. Oh, it's ironic how you've made me remain. I can't believe that I have fallen for you. I can't believe that you're a dream coming true. I can't believe how I have fallen for you. And it's ironic how you have fallen for me. I can't believe I have fallen for you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Please do enjoy the rest of your night. Hopefully, we'll be back for more. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Vafa Narahi.
Sure, you may. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ache, dumelang. Oh, Batswana Bate. Oh, I can see no one is better looking on this side compared to. Sanibonani. Ninjani molweni. Nda. Kana Matsonga baring? Absheni. Are Tonga people still part of South Africa, or is it? Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the celebration dinner of the Alan Gray Makers Festival. Give yourselves a round of applause. So my name is Vafa Narari, and I'm going to be your Minister of Entertainment. So we're gonna have I know you guys have had a 2-day conference. There's been a lot of deliberation, there's been a lot of English. But now we're going to have fun. Are you guys ready to have some fun? Okay, before we get started, all protocols observed. Honorable Minister, Ms. Stella Ndabeni Abrams, welcome. We've got the CEO of Alan Gray and Jill Philanthropy, Zimkita Peters. We've got representatives from the various TVET colleges. Give yourselves a round of applause. We've got the Alan Gray Makers Hub and alumni. See, the English is already finishing. You must just. And then the various participants in the programs, as well as the CEOs of their various partners. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, so I just want to have an indication. Eastern Cape in the house? Do we have people from the Eastern Cape? Okay, yeah, the Translux buses did arrive, so you guys. And then KZN? So few of you guys. Are there still floods? Why are you guys so few? There's always natural disasters in the KZN. I don't know why. Limpopo? Mpumalanga? Free State? Okay. Northwest Province? Gauteng? How can you guys be Limpopo and Gauteng at the same time, you know? Western Cape? Of course, we've got white people here. I should have. Welcome to South Africa. Welcome. Welcome to South Africa. And then, last but not least, the Northern Cape. What? Is anybody from the Northern Cape? So who have you left behind there if you are? So welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have a really good evening this evening. My name is Vafa Narari. So now I just want to tell you guys Kimutswana. Yeah, don't be fooled. This is just a screen protector. It's part of the family business. I had to wear this, but Kimutswana, and we're gonna have a really good evening. So we're gonna have entertainment along the way, but we're gonna get the proceedings started if you guys are ready. So I just want to hear the energy in the house. So could I have ladies? Could ladies make some noise? And then now, this is where I worry a bit. I'm not sure what sound is going to come out when I ask. Gentlemen, on the sound of 3, we're going to ask you guys to make some noise. 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, make some noise. Yeah, some are as if they are Spartans from 300 and the rest are supporting Kaizer Chiefs in the Soweto derby. Okay, no, now we see who's here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to ask ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask ladies to make some noise, gentlemen make some noise, and all together we're going to welcome onto stage Butle Dlamini, who is the lead on social innovation for the Alan Gray and Jill Philanthropy SA. So we're going to welcome him onto stage to say a couple of words. So, ladies, make some noise. Gentlemen, make some noise. And all together, welcome onto stage, Mr. Butle Dlamini.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Butle Dlamini.
Ahoy, my gents, ahoy! Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. You guys look absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. To the program director, Vafa Naragi, to the minister in the Department of Small Business Development, Ms. Stella Ndabeni Abrahams, welcome. Thank you for joining us. To the Alan and Jill Gray Philanthropy in South Africa, shortly AGGPSA, to our CEO, Zimkita Peter, to our board members, executive management, colleagues from our sister entities at the Alan and Jill Gray Philanthropies. Okay, I'm going to observe a long protocol. Please bear with me, okay? To the program director at the Alan Gray Makers, Mr. Seth Muli, and your teams in Gauteng and Eastern Cape, that pulled off such a spectacle. Welcome. To the United Nations Development Program in South Africa, the Deputy Resident Representative, Mr. Gabriel Dava, and the Program Portfolio Head, and your colleagues that are here, Ivan and Pumla, welcome. To the senior management and officials in the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Innovation present here today, we also have representation from the Department of Basic Education, Melala and your team, you are welcome. To the senior management and officials of the National Skills Fund, the EXCO, thank you very much for coming. To management and officials that are representing the Mpumalanga and the KwaZulu-Natal provincial governments, I saw COCTA and Economic Development, we acknowledge you. Future managers, Chief Executive Officer, the National Business Initiative, TVET College principals, the Secretary General and members of the South African Public Colleges Organization, SAPCO, the President and members of the South African Technical and Vocational Education and Training Students Association, College Deputy Principals, Innovation and Development, Student Support Services Managers, Center Managers, Coordinators, lecturers responsible for entrepreneurship programs in your TVET colleges, business and industry representatives in the entrepreneurship ecosystem, distinguished guests. And to all our finalists in the Inter-College and the Artisans of Umzansi, I welcome you all. Let's give them a big round of applause. It is a great honor for me to be standing here, and I have deep gratitude to welcome you all on behalf of the Alan Gray Makers team. And it's a privilege. I think as a recovering accountant, I never thought, actually if someone had to tell my father that I'm standing here advocating for the trades, he would not believe you. Because he walked a similar journey. I think I was still in primary school in the 90s when he kept on talking about one day I'll become an artisan. You know, and he started little by little doing an electronics course here, and then he did a digital electronics that followed, until when I was in matric, he told me he's going to Olifantsfontein to go and write a trade test. Then I started paying attention. So he'd always wanted to become an artisan, and he got his trade test in the year 2000 in instrument mechanic. And that's really when I was like, okay, so the trades are something that, you know, some people can aspire to. And I think for me, that was a touching moment. And I didn't think that I'd be waking up every day to work for an organization that is trying to make sense of where we are as a country. You know, that is advocating for entrepreneurship, to engage individuals that have immense potential, that have incredible ideas and dreams, and sometimes all they need is resources and mentorship, and a belief in themselves to turn these aspirations to become responsible technical entrepreneurs into reality. And that's what we do for a living, and it's truly fulfilling. The Allen Gray Makers program is a social innovation that we at AGGPSA conceptualized primarily to ignite dignity and meaning in the lives of South Africans through celebrating artisanal entrepreneurship. I mean, our country has rich resources, very diverse and untapped talent, yet there seems to be a prevalent sense of stagnation in the entrepreneurial sector. And there's also a devaluation of the trades. So this disconnect between the potential and reality is what really struck us at AGGPSA. And we saw it as a wicked problem that we wanted to contribute to solving. So gathered here today, this evening, I see visionaries. I see people who can see beyond the surface and into the heart of society's challenge. I see a community of like-minded entrepreneurial leaders, social innovators, united by the desire to untangle the intricate knots of South Africa's poor entrepreneurial culture and the underestimated worth of the trades. Innovation in the trades should be the heartbeat of our efforts. To solve old age problems, new perspectives are essential. Long-term commitment is our unwavering pledge. And we do recognize that transformation is not only an overnight feat, but a journey of dedication. And as a community, as a movement, we must tirelessly advocate for policies that support entrepreneurship and vocational training, with an understanding that true change will require patience and persistence. So what are we committing as AGGPSA and as Allen Gray Makers? Over the upcoming 3 years, we are committed to assisting the Department of Higher Education and Training in establishing robust entrepreneurship support structures within the TVET colleges. Our Startup Academy, with its impactful incubation program, holds significant potential for growth, and we envision rolling it out in all 9 provinces to fulfill the evident demand in South Africa and the continent. Our Growth Accelerator has been a valuable support to existing 227 businesses so far. And we plan to remain in the Eastern Cape and in Gauteng. And as the program director announced earlier today, from next year we want to roll out to 2 new provinces, KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. And most importantly, we want to leverage the power of storytelling. We want to compile relatable case studies, contribute to books, short documentaries featuring artisanal entrepreneurship role models. These stories will serve as invaluable teaching tools, enriching our educational programs and offering insights into aspiring technical entrepreneurial pathways. In conclusion, the current situation, ladies and gentlemen, where there's a lack of entrepreneurial spirit and a low regard for trades, highlights a critical issue that demands our attention. Delaying action only perpetuates the existing problems, and it will delay progress. The window of opportunity is open, and by embracing the spirit of hope and determination, we can create a powerful movement that can transform the entrepreneurial landscape of South Africa. The world might not be as it should be, but you and this community, we have the power to contribute to its transformation. We do recognize that us alone as an entity cannot tackle these complex challenges alone, and therefore I'd like to call up to the stage our partners, the Deputy Resident Representative of the United Nations Development Programme in South Africa, who is responsible for the oversight of country office programs and operations. Mr. Gabriel Dava. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Mr. Gabriel Dava.
Thank you. Good evening. When I was listening to the music, I thought I was very inspired to come here to the stage. But then when I saw the program director so vibrant, pulling together your energy, I felt intimidated. I thought I shouldn't come to this stage. But anyway, as I committed to be here, I have to address you. Program Director, Mr. Vafa Naragiji, I'm sorry if I'm not spelling your name properly, Minister of Small Business Development, Honorable Stella Ndabeni Abrahams, our good friend of UNDP of United Nations in South Africa, Alan Gray, Jill Gray, Philanthropy South Africa CEO, Ms. Zimkita Peter, who is eventually member of UNDP high-level board, which has been supporting the design oversight of our program in South Africa, and Alan Gray is our great partner. Board members of Alan Gray, and because I know you are looking for the entertainment that is coming, I want to be short. I will say all protocol observed. It's good, it's really a great honor to be here and a privilege at this gala dinner celebrating the outstanding participants of the National Entrepreneurship, Inter-College and the Artisan Mzansi competition. On behalf of the United Nations Development Program in South Africa, I extend my warmest greetings and heartfelt congratulations to all the entrepreneurs, innovators, and visionaries gathered together. As my predecessors say, when he look at you, he sees visionaries. Tonight's gathering is a celebration of the indomitable human spirit of the individuals who dare to dream, to create, and most importantly, to act. It's not just to dream, but we have to dream and act. That's the most important part of it. Entrepreneurship is more than career path. It is a transformative force that shapes societies and empowers individuals. Entrepreneurs, in their pursuit of innovative solutions, are the driving force behind economic growth and job creation. And we know that job creation is one of the major challenges in South Africa, but not only in South Africa, in Africa in general. They are the architects of change, the pioneers of new industries, and the champions of inclusivity. In the face of challenge, they exhibit remarkable resilience and adaptability, demonstrating that adversity can be a catalyst for innovation. UNDP recognizes the pivotal role of entrepreneurship in advancing sustainable development within South Africa, but in Africa in general. Entrepreneurship, when harnessed effectively, can address not only economic objectives, but also social and environmental goals. It embodies the principles of sustainability, inclusive growth, and responsible business practices. The National Entrepreneurship Inter-College winners represent the very essence of entrepreneurial spirit, demonstrating that even the most ambitious dreams can become a reality with hard work, dedication, and innovative thinking. Your achievements inspire us all and serve as a beacon of hope for aspiring entrepreneurs across the nation. The winners of the Artisan of Mzansi competition, your trades are critical for South Africa growth. They address skills shortage, reduce unemployment, promote economic diversification, foster entrepreneurship, and enhance the country's global competitiveness. Your success will pave the way for a more skilled and prosperous future. The evening is not only a celebration of individual accomplishment, but is also a tribute to the collaborative spirit that underpins entrepreneurship and artisanship. It is a testament of the strength of our community where ideas are shared and aspirations are supported. In a world that often focuses on challenges and obstacles, we are here to celebrate solutions, resilience, and the boundless potential that resides within each of us. Your achievements remind us that the path to success is not without difficulties, but with unwavering commitment and a spirit of collaboration, there are no limits to what we can achieve. Thank you for being here tonight to celebrate these exceptional individuals and the enduring spirit of entrepreneurship and craftsmanship. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any time, please help me to welcome on stage for the ministerial address, the Minister of Small Business Development, Ms. Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, who has been walking this journey and supporting us since we started the Makers Fest. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams.
Thank you so much, DJ. Thank you, Director of the program. Of course, let me offer the greetings in the table where I was seated at, from the CEO and her delegation, from Alan Gray, UNDP, our partners, all our partners that are here, let me say that, from government departments, and everyone. But most importantly, the main guest for the day, TVET entrepreneurs. It's like you're not sure. Hello, Eastern Cape. KZN. KZN. There are 3 people. Hi, Gauteng. Free State. Western Cape. Northern Cape. Mpumalanga. All right. Ndiyabona khona baseGqeberha. Northwest. All right, I was just checking if you're still alive. It's a Saturday. Limbo, yo, Limbo. Yeah, I nearly lost some votes there. It's a crisis. I know it's a Saturday, it's a weekend. You have lots of things that you have done in the past 2 days, as it was said. But I'm aware that you're also looking forward to receiving the nice things. So I know that others are looking for their checks. Others are supporting, others collect the checks. Others will be celebrating on behalf of others, and this is why we are here. Therefore, it's a great day for all of us. Now allow me to greet you, all of you, in Jesus' name. It's important. Well, let me first express my gratitude to the organizers for making sure that they dragged me to be here. It's hectic, guys. I apologize. You all look lovely, well-dressed, and here I come on my jeans and takers. My goodness, I didn't mean to undermine your occasion, But it's hectic Mzansi. So I've had a very hectic day, to an extent that if I had gone home to change, I would have missed out on this important occasion. Now I had to choose between looking good, which you know I love, and coming here and be with you for the things that we love together. So I chose you. I come from the Department of Small Business Development, as it was said, and indeed we are a partner here. Most of you may have heard about the work that we do as the portfolio, but I'll just bring few things that I think they are of importance to yourselves as the people who are seated here and who must make sure that you go and tell umngane wakho ukuthi things are happening here. We don't want you to keep the gossip to yourself. We're going to be gossiping a lot. We want that gossip to be shared with other people. We are a department mandated to coordinate and promote small business development and cooperatives. The emphasis is on development on the small business. Most people tend to refer to us as a department for small businesses, and knowing yours truly, those that know me, I'm like, you're not gonna reduce me to that. I'm the one that is responsible to make sure that with our team, we take you, so Maukala, when you start selling your little things, when you don't think that one day you can stand here and tell people of the great things, we walk the journey with you. And we then pass you to those that are important when we know what when we change a bank balance, at least it's a 200 million pass to other oligarchs. Then you see what you do with it. That's the job that we have. Because our department is called Small Business Development. People tend to think that, hey, these ones, they just have a small anyana task. I always say we are the ones that are mandated to deliver the real economic freedom in a country like South Africa. A country that has walked a journey for all these years, of course going through certain stages, but a country that is bold and proud that we are about to clinch 30 years in democracy. When we talk saying that we are proud of our past, but we also say we're confident of the future. And we are confident of the future because of the work that you do. Now, if we're talking about economic freedom, for us, it's not another slogan or a t-shirt that we must wear, but it's about the efforts that you must put in place in order to realize the economic freedom that we're talking about. My predecessor, when he came here, our partner from your NDP, he said, we're focusing on trade. And this is one thing that we have always abandoned as the country. Whether you track back on how we performed in the economy, at some time, of course, it was a shared growth, but we've seen that now it's growing slowly and it doesn't create jobs. And when we see it, as I said, we're about to finish 30 years, we sit and look back like any other 29-year-old who's preparing to exit calendar, to say, what is it that I've learned from my parents? What kind of future do I want to build? If I'm intending to get married and build my own family, what culture am I building and introducing? Learning from what I was taught at home and bringing what I've acquired through knowledge that I acquired at school and the society that I come from. We said and said, no, man, we're not doing things right. COVID came, showed us flames. We thank God that we're alive. Others did not make it. Others lost their loved ones. But when COVID came, it showed us that we have been focusing on things that we thought they all matter. And it proved to us that you can be a billionaire, you can be pretty, you can have everything that you have, but without that oxygen, you may not survive. Now, learning from those things that we tend to take for granted is to say, as we look at rebuilding our economy, introducing our economic recovery and reconstruction plan, what is it that we must do different in order to address the challenges that we're faced with, and of course, realize the delivery of the economic freedom to our own people. We crafted different segments that we took as interventions in order to rediscover our economy. At the center of that was industrialization. South Africa, a country that used to be known, whether you're going to be talking about satellites development and the deployment of them, whether you're going to be talking about the automotive industry, whether you look at the capabilities of Denel, whether you look at the agro-processing potential that we had, same applies to the skills that we provide to the world, that most people depended on us. But now we are talking of a country that then has shrunk in terms of the economy, a country that is faced with lots of challenges in terms of unemployment. Then at the center of it, as I said, was to look at, if you really want to reindustrialize, how are you going to deal with the crisis of energy? You have your problems. And we said we need a plan, and it has to be different from what we do. We then moved and said, there's a need for us to invest a lot in skills development, not just policy makers or researchers. Hence, we said we need to shift focus. As much as we fund those that go to university to study and learn about frameworks, but we need people to do the work. And this is when we said, Minister Nzimande and your team, there's a lot of work that we must do together in ensuring that we elevate the work that is being done through the TVETs. Shouldn't be that in our time, TVET graduates are looked down upon. Whilst every day we sit in houses or rooms that require plumbing services because there's always a leak, that your electricity meter has a problem, and all the artisanry skills that we need. And we said, let's do more. But at the center of that, as I said, as we invest in those skills, we're looking at ensuring that we can reindustrialize. And as we reindustrialize, it means that we must also look for the markets. Where are we going to take these products that will be produced? By all these people that we are saying, they are the ones that drive the economy. The artisans are the ones that drive the economy. You should look at the different spans of the different sectors. Where does most money go to? And this is a segment that we undermine a lot. But they make more money than me sitting in my office. How much do they bill? I know. At home, where I come from, Mthatha, they charge me 40% of the material that they're going to use in the build industry. And I asked, who came with this formula of 40%? If I decide to go for expensive material, where do you feature when? But they say, no, it's whatever that they come up with. But what I'm trying to say is that we're talking about the people who are able to build more than what we get every month. And yet we think we're better than them, whilst we can't even fix our own toilets. Now, I said my department is the department that is entrusted with that responsibility, coordination and promotion. This means this is not my department's only job. We've got to look at the ecosystem that we have. And this is why we developed the National Integrated Small Enterprise Development Framework that looks at how do we do things to promote entrepreneurship and cooperatives. I said we're learning, now it's been 29 years, and then when we look back, we're like, why are we here? Why are we talking about an economy that is growing slowly, although we do have an appreciation that even other countries are going through the same, but why is this economy not creating jobs? What are we missing? And then we did that assessment, we said, oh, okay. Now we have them, we are focusing on them, but where do they sell? Who else adds value? And the NGO that I subscribe to has this popular slogan that I'm certain everyone knows here. Together, we can do more. We then said, we've been inward looking. We have not really reached out in enhancing that together we can do more. for us to be able to solve the problems that we're faced with in South Africa. And we said this plan must therefore look at the ecosystem approach. If we are talking to farmers, we've got to first look at who's going to buy the produce, who's going to transport the produce, who's going to store the produce, and the other things that are added in the entire value chain. And that's the approach that we said. We believe that if we look at an end-to-end solution, we'll be able to change things. And as I said, at the center of that are the people that actually do the things. There are people who study to tell others what to do. There are people who study to put this that you know better that you are doing, put it into a framework that, you know, it would make sense if you put it here. But if you had not done it, they wouldn't bring a framework. It's the kind of the different roles that we have as citizens that we need in order to build an economy. It's the reality. That is why ourselves go beyond people who are learned, because innovation does not need education. But for it to be commercialized, it needs education. Because the world we function in requires frameworks and understanding of those frameworks. So it's important that there's that balance. That's why we say, let's go to the township, let's go to the rural areas, let's go to the taxi rank and find a mechanic, a bush mechanic as you refer to them, and say, we see that there's some beam of light here. What value can we add? And we're like, let's reach out to the TVET colleges. Let's help them apply for RPL because it has to be formalized. And this is the environment we're operating in. So I spoke of coordination in terms of looking at the ecosystem. I said there's a need for access to the markets. But before you go to the market, others are saying, Minister, we've got this great idea. We were incubated. We came up with a prototype. Now we want to really go out. We don't have access to financing, which is a critical challenge that we're faced with as entrepreneurs of this country. We then said, because I did tell you that we're small, and as you are small, our budget will tell you that it is small. And then now as we look at the ecosystem, I'm like, Sisim Kita, you know, there's a great idea that I'm thinking about that I think will benefit all of us. Can you just look into your kitty so that we can make an impact? But at the center of it is to say, how do we develop policies just like the one that we gazetted? I do hope that we have had, you've made inputs. The policy on funding for small businesses and cooperatives. How many of you have seen it? How many of you have heard about it? The National Treasury also passed another policy called the Finance Inclusion. How many of you have heard about it? One. I love you so much. I'm citing this because I'm trying to expose the ignorance that we have at times. As the people, yes, as the people who are expected to pass knowledge to others, which is the reason why we pay for people to go to school. We fund education because we want people to have knowledge. And therefore, if you're gonna pass knowledge to others, it means you have a responsibility to look at all angles of the ecosystem you're involved in. If you are saying, we know that we have these artisans in this particular TVET college, and then we know that we're driving entrepreneurship for them in partnership with Alan Gray, look at the ecosystem that must enable your own beneficiaries. And look at what is it that can really harm what you want to achieve. And this is the crisis that we're faced with in South Africa. A country that chose to adopt a government by people, for the people, but the people don't want to govern. They only want to vote. And they think voting is governing. They outsource it to other people, especially the learned people that do not see the need to attend the meetings when they are called by the ward councillor, because now they're too busy. Until they get into entrepreneurship and they want to go and trade in a particular street, and then the law enforcement guys come and say, hey, you are not allowed to trade here, move. Take your things away. Or they have to apply for land, or they already have the land, but it's access to water as they want to plant whatever they want to plant. They have a client that is ready to source from them, but then they get to be limited by the municipality to say, we can only give you 50 liters of water a day. And they never knew that before they entered into the business, because they never paid attention to the bylaws that govern their surrounding. The little things that we don't pay attention to as we talk about the ecosystem on entrepreneurship. And at the stand of it, as I said, in order to deliver economic freedom to our people. The National Development Plan states clearly that South Africa must create 11 million jobs, 11 new million jobs by 2030, new 11 million. And as things stand, it says 9 million of those should come from small businesses. And we can never have small businesses that are not entrepreneurs, because it has been proven that the tenderpreneurs have not been able to create jobs. We need real entrepreneurs to rise. But for that to happen, we need to understand the environment that we're operating in. I normally say this, that those that came before us, they made their responsibility to understand their ecosystem. They saw that for every decision that was taken against them, it was passed through legislation. Whether it was land taken from them, whether it was discrimination at workplace, whether it was separation of families, but a law was passed. This is why most of those that came before us studied law. Because for them to beat the system, they needed to understand it. We can never deliver economic freedom if we don't understand the ecosystem we're operating in. I'm citing economic freedom because it doesn't matter how learned you are, but if you're not financially independent, that means nothing to you. If you do not have a right to trade in your own country or on a fair trade when you're already in the space, then you are not free at all. The time for freedom of ideas has passed. They did, or they played their part. Now the baton has been handed over to ourselves. Now as people who are sitting here, South Africa really depends on you to address the crisis that I spoke about in terms of the unemployment rate that we have, but also to ensure that indeed our people are equal and they get to share in the country's wealth. Nobody else is going to do that. Nelson Mandela is not coming back, guys. Not even Winnie. We need you to rise up. When we do that, we then say as the department, well, we are here. Talk to us because you have walked the path. It is an entrepreneur or an aspirant one that knows the challenges of having to go and knock at our offices and they are told they don't have an appointment. It is an entrepreneur that knows very well how it feels to apply for funding or financing from CIFA and they are declined without a reason. It is an entrepreneur who goes to a bank and gets to be told, we don't fund this, but next week when he comes and applies for a housing bond, they get it easily. Some of us are in the business of politics, and others are in the politics of business. It seems like there's nobody who's safe. There's politics and business everywhere. It just depends which side you come from. Others choose to consume, but they get to be dictated on what they can consume, because he who supplies is the one that determines the role. I'm excited over the deliberations that we have had. I'm looking forward to the great solutions that will be presented here from the work that we have done, but I'll be more excited when we say, Minister, we partnered with so-and-so, these ones are trading. We now, Minister, opening a hardware in a particular area, a Mercado in Limpopo, and it's South African owned. And we're not going to be apologetic about that, right? We're not apologetic because we live in a country that recognizes everybody's right. But as much as we say that, there's a reason why this country is led by an African National Congress, not a South African National Congress. Because the independence of Africa, of South Africa, is not totally independent if our neighbors are not enjoying the same freedoms. Therefore, that binds us together as Africans is what we have to share, but it doesn't take away the responsibilities that we have to those that are our citizens, like any other responsible government will do. We stipulate legislations, including in terms of trade, of who can trade in a country if one is a foreign national. And we have not seen progress and compliance in this area, not because of people who come to South Africa illegally, because those that are coming here illegally, they know the processes and they follow them. But there are those that come illegally and undermine, not on their own. They do that with our own assistance. We give people access to build or buy houses in their residential areas. We find people operating salons in residential areas that are not designated as business areas. And there are bylaws for that, they're not enforced. We find the same South Africans wanting to march and blame government to say, we see the spaza industry, the beauty industry, this and that is being taken by foreigners, government is not doing anything. But does government have a say in your own property, private property that is owned? I'm raising these because I'm really looking forward to us changing how things are done by changing how we think first. Ourselves as the people who are seated here. When we're given an opportunity to work as government officials, and at the end of the day, the month end, we're supposed to pay small businesses and we don't pay them. Yet on the 15th or whatever payday, we go proudly to collect our money. Where's our conscience? I said those that came before us have paved the way for us. They made sacrifices. Are we a generation that is prepared to make those sacrifices for the next generations? That may be your great children who will not enjoy what you are enjoying right now. It is September. We're beginning of the spring month. So I shouldn't be frustrating you, right? I think I'm depressing you now. Unfortunately, somebody has to say it, right? For the sake of our own country, somebody has to tell it. We shouldn't outsource the power that you have. The power that you have as the people who sit here. Just by exercising your right of expressing your opinion in the space you're operating in and be loyal to the cause you believe, of course, within the perimeters of the law that governs our country. I therefore invite all of you to make sure that you can participate in your respective areas. Those that go to church, you will know there's law in church. Therefore, do comply at church. And we know that it was one thing that people could find comfort in. That is why next to every bishop that was there in the olden days, there was always a preacher and a prophet, in order to make sure that there can be social cohesion amongst the people of the world. Whether you look at those that are not Christians, they've always had their traditional healers to have them show the way in what they believe in. What I'm trying to say, that you believe in is what we need you to work on to achieve this common goal of helping our country get into greater heights. We don't have to be big. We don't have to be elected to play our part. This is your power. Don't let anyone take it away. Very few people, as I was coming here, I read an article because Minister Motsoaledi had issued something against what we had seen happening in terms of the illegal occupation of government's precincts and other areas. And now we have a foundation that decided to go and oppose. And I was telling my colleagues, you're going to watch, South Africans are going to keep quiet. They're not going to go and oppose that foundation, But they're going to come and complain, hey, government, you let these people take our land, you let these people take our properties. But they will not take any action outside that because they'll be gossiping on WhatsApp and Facebook and then on talk shows on the radio station. It will end there. You will not see them going to say, Parliament, we're making a proposal. This is our government. We have a say. You're not going to see them going to police station, wherever that they must go to the courtrooms to say, we respect everybody's right, but it doesn't mean ours must be trashed as South Africans. We can't allow, it doesn't matter if you're a foreigner or you are South African, we're not going to allow you to undermine the laws of the country. Because it has nothing to do with nationality, but everybody respecting the country's laws if we really want to turn things around. We took a stance that where we have shortage of skills, we will get those skills from those that have. Of course, the first angle for us is to start in the neighboring countries. But the skills that we have in this country, that shouldn't be replaced by other people. And it is your legislations that talk to that you did not oppose, that now when the Minister responsible for Home Affairs is enforcing them, he is being attacked. We've got to decide on what we need to do. And yes, we have a shortage or a gap of 350 billion rands in SMME funding, as I say that, which therefore requires us not only to partner with other people, but to say that policy that I asked you about, if you had read it, the policy on funding for small businesses and cooperatives, it seeks to establish a fund of funds, wherein we collect all our 3% from those that are important and making lots of money, that must go to the coffers wherein we are able to provide funding to small businesses. We have 2.5 million SMMEs in this country. We need to create 4 million new SMMEs if we are to meet the target of 9 million jobs that must be created by 2030. Now, as I'm sitting here, with all the people that have been chosen to be here, I'm looking forward to having them reducing that number of 4 million. Them coming out to say, Minister, we're going to help this country. These are the solutions that we are bringing. This is all we need from your side. There's lots of red tapes. Tell us what is it that we can do, and then we partner with all the parties that are here. But if you're sitting at home with your idea, and after getting the nice checks that you're going to get here, or the trophies that you're going to get, you think it ends there, you must know we are not in the right direction. This is the beginning of great things that must happen. This is why you are here, to say we'll walk this path with yourselves. We have submitted to Parliament the Businesses Act Amendment Bill, which seeks to look into the issue, amongst others, the issue of licensing of small businesses, as we have had so many people complaining about the timelines and the processes that are stringent when they apply for licenses at the municipality level. We are looking at all the issues, rezoning for those that have something to do with the land issues, but we're also looking at municipalities that must develop clear local economic development strategies that must be able to say, here in our spatial planning, we have identified this area and that area for small businesses, and therefore we'll be able to exempt some of them from these rates that we need in order to grow our economy locally. These are the things that require all of us. So I'm citing this because I want to urge all of you to make inputs when Parliament goes to the public hearings. We're going to take those to public hearings. I said we've submitted to Parliament. Then Parliament is going to invite people to make inputs. It is where we get to be defeated. When we introduce legislations that must develop our people or address the imbalances of the past that we faced with, we see people not participating. And the few that understands what democracy means. They participate and then we get things rejected and they can't be approved and our hands are tied as government. And then people come and say, government, why are you not doing this? Forgetting that this is the government of people, by the people. I would like you to really participate in those processes. On the one that I said, the National Treasury had gazetted the financial inclusion policy. Also, it seeks to address the imbalances by identifying certain segments that must be given priority in terms of procurement by National Treasury. As things stand, government spends only 1% on small businesses. And we are saying we can't be doing that whilst the National Development Plan says 90% of jobs is going to come from small businesses. Who are you building the small businesses for if you can't procure from them? So that policy seeks to address those. Please familiarize yourselves with it so that you can identify gaps if there are any and to come back to us so that we can really look at that. At the center of it, again, and the work that we're doing is promoting manufacturing, as I spoke of reindustrialization. I said we have an energy crisis. You may have heard people who are training people on solar installers or solar installation. And I was talking to the CE that, you know what, I've taken a decision, I'm not going to be undermined anymore, that I'm just reduced to being a solar installer, whoever that will be. But I know that this country and these TVET colleges that we have a great potential to produce people that can manufacture. This is why I threw it to them to say, guys, can we fundraise 60 million rands so that we take some of the students here that are into engineering, we take them to China, I will bring my part, I will bring others, for them to manufacture the solar panels in order to provide energy to other people without us just producing people to consume and become resellers. Because of time, allow me to tell you that we wish everyone the best and we want to thank the Allen Gray team for the good work that they continue to do, and of course to tell you that the ANC government loves you so much. Thank you, Program Board.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, Mr. Landabeni Abrahams. What stood out was, as I was listening to the Honorable Minister's speech, is that she's taken the time, and it's not the first time. She was with us last year. And it just, for me, it stands out that within the short space of time that Allen Grain Bakers has been around and their relationship with the TVET colleges, that they're able to garner support of the various departments and national government, and for the minister herself to be here and be present with us and to address us. I think that's just a testament to the magnitude and significance of this program that you guys are part of. So I'd just like to acknowledge the minister for that. As well as Mr. Gabriel Gava, on behalf of the UNDP. That is also a significant step that the Allen Gray Makers has made. We are now international. So we'd like to acknowledge you for that. And last but not least, the lovely work that both Butle and Zimkita, you guys have done with your team to create such a space and such a support. It's really amazing work. Could we give them a round of applause? So, ladies and gentlemen, now we've come to our point where we have our keynote speaker. So our keynote speaker has told me I can't say too much about him because he wants to come here and surprise you guys. But what I can tell you is that he's a serial entrepreneur. And that does not mean that he sells cornflakes. I just want to clear that up. Sort of like yeah, I don't think that joke landed. It was clever. It was funnier in my head. It was so Limpopo, cornflakes is sort of when you take wheat bix and then... I'm only playing. Ladies and gentlemen, could you guys help me welcome, ladies first. Ladies, could you guys make some noise? Gentlemen, are you guys still around? Make some noise. Hey, you can see the hunger setting in, that the voices are changing over there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all together, could you guys give a warm welcome to Mr. Miles Kubeka?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Miles Kubeka.
I'm Miles Kubeka.
I'm talking to Miles Kubeka. Miles Kubeka.
Miles Kubeka. Miles Kubeka.
Who decided to turn the Vuyo's brand into his own version.
Watched a beer advert.
Turn the fiction into a reality.
Global success of an imaginary Buddha horse roll vendor called Vuyo.
Vuyo is such a big, big dreamer.
Hello Mzansi, I'm Vuyo.
Born and raised in Soweto, I've simmered and steamed my way to success.
Ooh, Vuyo is such a big, big dreamer.
He started off with one group and now
Afrikaanski businessman
has become an overnight sensation.
He's on TV all the time.
When I saw that advert, I knew it was an advert. I'm a journalist by profession. I knew it was an advert, but I was hoping somewhere along the line there's truth in it. Because I felt it, and also when I saw that advert, I saw the mother who had such a passion for his son who was hoping for the future, and I saw this Vuyo flying to different places and so forth. And I'm happy that Miles picked that up.
Hello, Minister. How are you guys doing? So how many of you remember the advert? Vuyo is such a big, big dreamer. Right? So I saw that advert and I wondered if it was based on a true story. I wondered if Vuyo actually existed. At the time I was working at Microsoft and traveling the world, being paid really well, I must say. But every time I got home, I said deep kloof expensive, as my mother would say. I would hear all the kids going, "Oh, Vuyo is such a big, big dreamer." I was like, "Who's this Vuyo guy?" So I Googled, only to discover there was no Vuyo. Totally a fictitious character dreamt up by an advertising agency in Cape Town, I think after smoking some green stuff. So I promptly trademarked it and I became Vuyo from that day on. I inherited this brand equity that was just sitting there. I opened restaurants and people come to my restaurant and say, "Dude, I saw the same advert and I wanted to do what you did, but I didn't." I got asked this question so many times, Maravele, Miles, why did you do something about it when we clearly all saw the same thing and we didn't do anything? And I started asking myself the same question. And the only answer I've come up with to date is that as long as I can remember, my mother has always said to me, don't be an also-ran in life. If 5,000 people set out to run a marathon, 4,999 of them serve to legitimize the winner. They are there so that there's a number one. She said, go out and change the world. Be somebody, stand for something. And I remember thinking to myself, hey, lay off me, woman, I'm only 3 years old. But I guess maybe there was that sense of purpose that stuck with me very early on that made me do when others didn't. But, when I then quit my high-paying job to go sell amapuruvos rolls at the Foyers Farmers Market, the same mother was like, "Hey, Mtanami, what about medical aid in a pension?" How? She really doesn't sound like that. But an important lesson there was that in life, often people don't do amazing things because of fear. And often it's not even their own fear, it's other people's fear. Especially the people who love you. They're the ones who almost want to always to protect you, but they're also the ones who kind of impede you from doing. The second reason why people don't do anything that's epic is they don't know how. They don't know how to start anything. In my entire schooling career, I don't remember going to a class called Start 101. There's no way you get taught how to start. But guess what? Do you know what the trick to starting anything is? Start. Don't overthink it. So I went to the Four Ways Farmers Market. We rock up and they give us a table. And it costs I think 400 rands a weekend. So that's another big myth that you need money to start a business. It costs us 400 bucks a weekend to start our business, right? And when we arrive, they give us this trestle table. It's made out of wood. The guy, Peter, in the picture turns to me and says, look, I think we should put the grill on the table so we can look at the customers. And I love that because, you know, we need to be looking at the customers, otherwise we'll have our backs to them. So we remove the legs and we put it on the table, only to realize the table is made out of wood. Ish. And then we're like, okay, let's put those concrete slabs, you know, the things we walk on, and we put that between the table and the grill, and it worked. Right? And week number 5, we're running a queue 30 deep. Peter turns around to me and says, Miles, we're on fire. I go, I know, look at the crowd. He goes, no, we are on fire. It turns out he forgot to put the concrete slab between the table and the grill, and the table caught alight, making this big flame that was melting the shade netting above us, creating this natural convection, and the flames were bellowing, and I looked down on the floor. I realized the floor is made out of wood chips. It was lit, as the young people would say. Again, an important lesson there I learned very quickly on in my entrepreneurial journey is that if you want to do anything that's worthwhile, you got to be comfortable that failure happens. And it happens more than you would like. And it happens more often than you'd like. And it's the weirdest thing. I think as a black entrepreneur, it even feels a little bit harder because it's like you feel this chip on your shoulder. It's like, you know what if you've started a business, you know what I'm talking about, right? And the truth is, it's possibly true, right? But often than not, it's you. It's your own chip, right? So don't overthink it. Just start and get going. And that's exactly what we did. Once we started, I only had my mom's secret recipe, chakalaka boerewors roll. And it was amazing, and it was our top seller. But then I needed others to improve, because you can't just sell one product. So I got other boerewors rolls, and as you can see on the screen, we put in more boerewors rolls, and we were pumping. Yeah, there we go. And what I had learned at Microsoft is that don't wait until your product is perfect. You know, now it's called MVP. Everybody talks about it. Launch when you're closest to greatness as possible, but don't wait, because otherwise you'll never start. And that's exactly what we did. We just kept on improving and improving it. But we're using the money for the ones that were selling best to improve the one that wasn't selling the best, right? And it made so much sense. And at Microsoft, we used to call that software updates, right? When you use your customers' money to improve the product. And before we knew it, our product was winning awards. Just as well, you are now eating, because this would have been an awkward conversation while you are hungry and I'm busy showing you pictures of food. But by this stage of our business, we're winning awards. Our boerewors rolls were being sold at 115 rands a boerewors roll with fries. Yeah, I'm a black guy selling boerewors rolls for 115 bucks. Can you imagine? But of course, you don't start at the market to end at the market. I wanted to stand like this next to my bricks and mortar store and say, look, Ma, I made it. So we found what I thought was the most amazing site in Braamfontein. We found this building. I even heard the angels and the harps when I saw it. It was like, ah, you know, but that was a red flag in itself. Why, if it was so great, why was it available? Why hadn't famous brands already taken it? And the reason is, as an entrepreneur, you gotta believe that some of these things are for you. Otherwise, you'll never do anything. You'll always think it's for somebody else, right? So we didn't overthink it. So I launched a restaurant on the 12th of the 12th of the 12th because I'm a geek. I thought 1 2 1 2 1 2 is a good omen, and we launched. But we opened the restaurant on the 26th of December on a Boxing Day. And I got 4 snow machines and we made it snow. And people were eating poikis, and it was packed, it was full. Except on the 27th of December, not a single customer. Empty. Because it's in Braamfontein, and Braamfontein is a student town. All the Zulus are back in KZN, the Xhosas are in the Eastern Cape. There's no one there. My tables are lily white like corporate South Africa, and I'm thinking to myself, oi, how did I get here? And then, because it's empty and there's no one there, so I decided to call the Sunday Times and say, listen, how would you like to hear about how we made it snow in the middle of an African summer because we had these amazing snow machines? And the journalist went, meh, and hung up. But I still have nothing to do. So I started writing this article about how we made it snow and people were eating poikies. I used this byline, I typefaced it, I attached the picture, and I emailed it to the journalist. And he called me about 20 minutes later with a bit of a smirk on his voice, and he asked me 1 or 2 questions. At this point, I'm thinking maybe we make it to page 182 on the Sunday Times, and it's a thin one in December. And guess what? I get woken up by Robbie Brosen, the founder of Nando's, saying, dude, congratulations, you're on the front page of the Sunday Times. And it was on our 4th day of our store's operation. And the important lesson there is actually a couple. I don't know if you can see, but there's a bullet point there at the bottom of the article. That's the only thing the journalist wrote. Everything else I wrote, including attaching the picture. But he did call SAB and he said, listen, there's this guy called Miles, he's taking your brand, he's opening restaurants, what do you guys think? And SAB said, well, if he's brave, good luck to him, and forward and onwards, paraphrasing. But the important lesson there I learned is that in life, it is often better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Because I can tell you for free, had I asked SAB, they would have probably said no, right? And a lot of people, I find, particularly in South Africa, in corporates, we now have escalators, I call them. People escalate problems. No one wants to solve anything themselves. It's easier just to say, yeah, hey, boss, yeah. And once you start doing that, you are on a spiral of decline, because then things take 3 times as long and cost 3 times as much. And then the other thing I learned is that journalists often write negative stories because good stories are harder to find. You don't have to look hard for the negative stories. They're all over the place, right? But positive stories are harder to find. That means your story, everybody's story in this room, is important. But if you're not writing it and talking about it and narrating your own stories, it's almost impossible for somebody else to find it and amplify it. And the truth of the matter is they are looking to amplify them because it is a boring and sad newspaper if it's only negative things, right? So please, I implore you, if you take anything away today, social media is great, but there's nothing as great as a journalist telling the rest of the world that you are great. It holds a little bit more water, I think. So yeah, before I knew it, I had appropriated the SAB brand without compensation. They'd spent 60 million rands on it. By the time I'd finished doing all the media and the PR, I'd increased that brand equity by another 40 million rand. So I had a 100 million rand brand and I hadn't spent a single cent on advertising. Thank you. And I was starting to meet some really interesting people. Let's say Richard Branson to you, Rich to me, because, you know, that's how I roll. But again, like I said, we were in Braamfontein. It's a very tough place to run a business because 4 months of the year, there's no one there, right? So we did a stretch session and we were just looking at, when our stretch session was sitting around the laptop and watching all the Vuyo's videos and ads. And we realized that he started selling with Boerovos cards, and we didn't have the money to open another store, particularly since this one wasn't doing so great. So we thought, why don't we go backwards? Why don't we build carts? They're cheaper. This was 25 grand to set it up. And maybe we can find some young guys who are unemployed and teach them how to cook. And it's not rocket science. I mean, even though we do cook with gas. And we did. We found young people. We taught them how to cook our wors. And then we went to big retailers and said, listen, hey, why don't you put us outside and look at us. We're bright and red and young and exciting. And they said, yes. To our surprise, they said, yeah, sure. And that's exactly what we did. And before I knew it, we were running a business that was doing, these guys, independent guys, were doing between 50 and 60,000 rands a month selling Boerovos rolls for themselves. And you know the most amazing part about this? Everybody just kept on seeing these Vuyo things everywhere, outside all these retailers, and they thought we were bigger than we actually were. We only had one store, but a lot of carts. And all these young guys were working for themselves, so we kept no stock, we paid no salaries because they were self-employed, and most importantly, the spas and the retailers, because they all had a bakery and a butchery, they would make our Boerovos and our rolls on our spec in a butchery and bakery, so we kept no stock. This is pre-Uber. We were running a business that was asset and OPEX light. It was a dream, and in fact, you guys as building up businesses, that's what you want. That's the holy grail, a business that is got so few overheads, because when you get that right, month ends are much nicer as an entrepreneur. Cool. So the first part of my story was my lived experience. I call it the entrepreneurial mindset, and I think I've sort of explained that. The second part of my journey, what I do now, is what I call change maker's mindset. And the difference is, on entrepreneurial mindset is like you look at the problem at first hand. And once you start seeing problems, you can quickly start seeing opportunities. And that's what entrepreneurial mindset is. It's like, you know, when you like a car, all of a sudden you see it everywhere. So what I'm trying to show you that there's so many opportunities, particularly in a country like South Africa, because whenever there's a challenge, that means there's an equal and opposite opportunity. But once you start seeing these opportunities, they're everywhere, right? And that's what I call the entrepreneurial mindset. But what I'm going to talk about now very quickly is what I call a change maker's mindset. It's great to do things for yourself and build businesses and all of that, and I implore you to start there. You got to do that for yourself and self-actualize. But once you've done that, and ideally, to be honest with you, you should kind of try and do it at the same time, is that when you start moving your hand away from your face and stop it being a first lived experience, you realize that your hand is attached to a body. So you don't work in a silo. Everything that you do works in a community or in a society. And that's what Change Maker's mindset is about. So in 2019, I sold Vuyo's and I semi-retired. I was like, Joe, that happened kind of faster than I thought it would. So what do I do now? I think I was still relatively young, so what do I do? And I happened to watch a movie called Black Panther. And there was a city in Black Panther called Wakanda. And it was the first time I saw Africa portrayed in such a positive light on such a global scale. Africa was a center of excellence. The Avengers were coming to Africa to learn about what we were doing. I mean, dude, that is so impressive. So I left the movie house so excited, and I promptly trademarked the word Wakanda. I mean, hey, it worked out great with Vuyo's, right? So, and that was national, why not go global? So I trademarked the word Wakanda, and sometime last year I get a call from Disney, who owns Marvel Studios. They were working on the sequel to Black Panther, and they were going to entitle it Wakanda Forever. And they were in post-production when they discovered that I owned the word Wakanda. So now my lawyers, long story long, we settled on $3.5 million that they paid me to use the word Wakanda. I'm kidding. Or am I? And I think you're getting the point, right? That opportunities are in front of us. They are everywhere. I'm not smarter than anybody. The same opportunity was available to everybody, right? But if you're not looking out for them, and most importantly, once you see it, execute on it, it's all up to you, essentially. And so what we do at Wakanda is we find young, amazing food and beverage creatives that are doing amazing things. And everyone says, dude, Miles, why are you always so excited and, you know, like... I work with amazing people. You know, it's very easy to get lost on the negativity stuff. But when you work with talent, that's under the surface. I mean, I worked with the makers. We did some cool stuff together. And I can tell you, there is so much amazing talent in South Africa. In fact, if anything, one thing we don't have a shortage of, if I would even argue we have an abundance of, is amazing entrepreneurial thinking in this country. I think it's just most of the stories are not being seen or told, but it doesn't mean they are not there. Like, for example, this is Dr. Tracy. She's a medical doctor by training. She's one of our alumni. She came to us. In fact, she's one of South Africa's youngest doctors. She graduated medicine. She's from Limpopo. She graduated in medicine at 21 years old. That's not even her story. You're never going to read about it. She doesn't even like... So when she came to us, she said she discovered that her gogo actually in Limpopo told her if she grounds baobab seeds and amarula seeds, it makes this amazing powder, which is a plant-based alternative to butter. It turns out a lot of black people are lactose intolerant, and it presents in overweight issues and so forth, right? We don't know this, you know, no one tells you this, but like we're busy drinking milk every day, Ganti. You know? So anyway, so she mixes stuff, she applies a Western medical science and thinking with the indigenous knowledge and makes this amazing product. This product is so great that when you take it overseas, when we travel with her, everyone else in the world is clamoring for it. But South Africans, dololo. It was so hard to get her on shelf. I can't tell you how hard it was. But we worked with her, and this is her seeing her product on shelf for the first time with her son, Mali, whom the ice cream is named after.
Guys, love.
Mommy, post it on Instagram.
I should do what? Dengar. Why is my heart beating faster? Oh my gosh.
You want me to get cold?
Mommy, it's ours, so we can take it for free, right?
He says, Mommy, it's ours, so we can take it for free, right? So, in wrapping up, I've got 5 minutes, so let me see if I can do this faster. So, 5 things I learned during COVID, floods, riots, and I wouldn't have known this, that I was living in a bubble. And I think all of us live in our own respective bubbles. But COVID really popped my bubble because when the president said stay at home, we were in level 5, like I said, I'm not one to ask for permission. So I'd rather ask for forgiveness. So I printed one of those essential services certificate, and we had just launched our accelerator at the time, Wakanda, and thanks to the minister and SIDA, we had just launched. So now we had these amazing facilities, right? We had young chefs and everybody, and the president says, must sit at home. We're like, perfect. So we went to the Cassis we come from, Alex Deep Sloot, and you realize, there's no food there, right? So we used our kitchens, we started cooking, and we started going out there. And I realized that, firstly, a lot of us interface with the world through our screens. We are really genuinely socially distant to the problems. We think we're fixing the problems by tweeting. And I'm not pointing fingers, I was that exact person. I thought, if I comment, commented, right? But you can't tweet your way into solutions. Activism actually means you have to be active. It turns out. Who knew, right? So I also realized that charity is not a sustainable solution. In fact, it sustains the problems, right? And I'll talk a little bit about that. And that real solutions must come from the bottom. From us, the communities that we come from, the solutions are there. I found that people who have problems often actually have the solutions along with that, right? So when we started helping out and feeding the communities, we started with 350 meals the first day, 500 the next day. Before we knew it, I was co-opted to a board of SA Harvest. Long story long, as of 4.5 months ago, we've done over 38 million meals. Because there's 19 million South Africans who go to bed hungry every night, right? And guess what? It's not a food problem, it turns out, because we've got enough food. So people are hungry, but we got food. Like, that is a seriously stupid problem to have. So, and it bothered me. It was like, how do we fix it? And I'll quickly maybe just touch on this. Is that when you start helping a community, you realize these things, these steps, it's called toxic charity. Is that when you arrive the first time, people are so excited to see you, right? Like, wow, thank you for coming. Then you can see that there's an anticipation. When are you going to come next, right? When you come next, they say, oh, so and tomorrow you're going to come, right? You come tomorrow. Oh, you don't come tomorrow, you come the day after. They say, Mara, why didn't you come yesterday? So there's a level of entitlement that builds. So, and before you know it, you've created a dependency. So here you were trying to help and assist, but you've now taught that person or that community that you are the solution, right? So this bothered me as a systems engineer. I was like, no, this is stupid. Like, how do we solve this problem fundamentally? And then I realized that in townships, most people are not poor. They're just poorly paid. They have a cash flow issue. And so food is also a contributor to that. So food actually makes you poorer because food is cheaper by bulk. Everybody understands that. But no one ever thinks that the inverse of that is so important. It means food is twice as expensive the smaller it is. So if I'm a cobbler, I fix shoes, or I run a car wash and I just made 20 bucks, but Impopo is 30 rands. I've got 20 bucks, but I can't buy impupu because it's $30. I was like, that is a seriously nonsensical problem to have in 2023, right? So put our heads together, and this is what we've come up with.
Gwalisa, meaning fill up, are branded refill dispensers that allow customers to buy the amount of everyday products they can afford with the money they have available when they need it at the right price.
I think it's a good idea because like us, sometimes you broke, you can't afford the pack. So the Gwalisa one, you can just come with this canteen and everything is set from R1. Come on, no one, everyone can afford that.
I think it's the best if you get a refill than to buy with the packet. Yeah, if you don't have enough money, you can buy a small, R2 for a flour, R2 for a sugar.
So I'm busy driving around in Alexandra in Johannesburg, and I find this really, really dope shop on the side of the road, like Alex. If you check how they operate, I think this is pretty cool. Bring your own skaftin or buy a reusable glass jar from us. They refill your container with your selected products, and then you pay depending on your weight. So for people that can't afford to buy certain grocery products from the get, and they have all these really dope products that we use on a daily basis to eat. If you look up there, there's other products as well. And then here is most of the grain products, sugar products.
Well, in the interest of time, thank you. Then we powered Gwalisa's because then load shedding was an issue. So, you know, as an entrepreneur, problems come, find solutions. Because we run on solar, we realized that the community was unsafe. People, you know, we were the only ones who were lit, pun intended. So it's like eating a burger and everybody's lips are white, you know, so it didn't feel right. So what we then did was like, we added this huge street light that lights up the entire street now. So now, it turns out light is not about just seeing, it's about security. So all the mamas are feeling safer. But then we realized that they were spending a lot of time, the mamas were taking a lot of time deciding what to eat. I would watch them, and often I thought, no, buy a shorter, so I thought, but it turns out they actually had money when I speak to them. Say, no, it's just that the load shedding is going to happen in the next 30 minutes, and this whole week we've been eating impupu or pap and eggs because those are the fastest things to cook. So I realized very quickly that people are deciding their nutritional intake based on load shedding. I would have never understood that there's such a direct correlation. So that bothered me, obviously, and then in conclusion, this is what the solution, this is Gwalisa 3.0 that solves for that problem. So Gwalisa 3.0, we've added bigger solar panels. We now reticulate electricity into people's homes around our block. They pay 5 rands per load shedding hour. So and then 10 rands, and we train installers. So that's why I'm excited to work with the electricians. And the plumbers, because, you know, water is our next big crisis, you know. Anyway, long story short, so now people pay 5 rands to get electricity, and to get lights, and then 10 rands to get lights and plugs. And it's working like a dream. It's so funny that sometimes, like, Sentin is dark because we can see it from Alex. It's dark over there, and Tina, we got light. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. I'm gonna record this.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Miles Kubeka. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a surprise act. I don't even know who the act is, but we've got a surprise act that's coming on to stage. So feel free to stand up, dance, enjoy yourselves, and at the same time we'll be serving mains. So without further ado, we'll welcome on our surprise act.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your surprise performance from Sun L Musician.
So Celebration tonight. Celebrate. Don't wait too late. No. Stop. Can't stop. We're gonna celebrate. One more time. One more time.
zela aluzangela wela so hlezi sisonke mina nawe sadalelana so hlezi sisonke mina nawe
Open up your heart, what do you feel? Open up your heart, what do you feel? Is real. The Big Bang may be a million years away. Oh, but I can't think of a better time to say. Look inside, you find a deeper love. The kind that only comes from high above. If you ever meet your inner child, don't cry, no. Tell them everything is gonna be alright. Hold on. Instead of messing with our future, open up inside. Hold on. One day you will have to answer to the children of the sky. Hold on. Instead of messing with our future, tell me no more lies. Hold on. One day you will have to answer to the children of the sky.
my love. I've been waiting on him long enough. Got my hand out to him, lead me to the place where no one can erase that we were there. Let me and my love set me loose and I'll go over and above. I can prove it, baby, grown enough to know now what you really want and why and how. So lead me, lead me, lead me, lead me, lead me, oh, lead me, lead me. Let me and my man, I learned my lesson now, I wholly understand. Need a woman for delighting, not debating. No fuss, frustrate, just titillating. So give me to my love. He got one my mind always remind me of. Had a vision we went back to, do you remember it? When we were at that thing and did that shit we did. Oh, am I charmed or fortune's fool? Have I done harm? Have I broke some rule? Why am I mystified by your lips and your eyes? I could go on and on and on and on and on. You'll never catch up. Is it charm or not at all? Am I culpable or is it not my fault? Preoccupied by your lips and your eyes. You know why I could go on and on and on and on and on. You'll never catch up. Lead me. I want you to lead me. I need you to lead me. Let me at that man. I wanna make sure I keep him close as I can. I got a feeling he ain't sure, so I gotta let him know that anywhere he needs me to, I'll always go. So give me to my love. Playing hard to get, got hard enough. Call my bluff. Deferment of pleasure increases its measure for both of us. Ho, ho, hi, I must be charmed. The fortune's fool. I done no harm and I broke no rule. And why am I?
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yeah, we just had a small load shedding difficulty with the microphone. But did you guys have fun? Did you guys enjoy Sanel? So I can sense the nerves have been relieved slightly. But we're going to instill the nerves once more, because now we're coming to the crux of this evening. So this is where we're going to announce the winners of the various prizes. Are you guys excited? So without any further ado, I'm going to welcome onto stage Mr. Linda Dadla, and he's going to be facilitating the awards. So give yourselves a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Linda Dadla.
Awesome. Can you give up a round of applause for being so awesome and not for making fun of me? Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You're coming back again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right. The team has asked me to do this task and not start a song and not sing, and just focus on getting the winners up. But before we do that, yesterday we had a lovely conversation at the end of the day. And when I was standing here, I kind of pointed that way. And when I pointed, something happened. And this morning, I got a bank notification. And you know what that bank notification means? It means the kaching has gone up. So the kaching is up. So firstly, let me appreciate the Ellen Gray makers through the AGGP SA for making sure that we get these awards or the inter-college running. Our partners, the UNDP. We also have future managers here who've been so gracious to say, on top of what we have given, we will give more. So now, the winners will walk away with 50,000 rands. And the runner-ups will walk away with 25,000 rands. What is also up for grabs is that the winners of the Tech, General, and Artisan will be receiving 15,000 rands worth of artwork from our Shea Maxim team that does our artwork and creative stuff. So to make sure that you look good on your businesses, your profile is good, everything that you put out on your pages looks amazing. So for those three categories. I have a minute to go, so if you feel generous to sign a check, you can approach me very quickly and we can increase the pot. You know, in there's extra mnigelo on top of the one that we've taken. So we can start a song and ask for more, and I'm sure we can make the koleki happen. But let me not take time. Please allow me to ask my team. Ladies, Nishap. All right, cool. Please welcome on stage Ms. Zimkita to please come and assist me in congratulating the winners, as well as Ms. Miriam Malebu, the acting Chief Director from the National Skills Fund. Please come on stage, ma'am. Okay. Mr. Evans, representing the UNDP, to come up front. And my generous people, all the way from Future Managers, please welcome Ms. Liesel, the CEO of Future Managers, to come up front. Can we give them a round of applause? Maybe they will sign more money. You never know. You never know, you never know, you never know. Okay, so your job description, you just shake hands, give the trophies, and and then congratulate them. So
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, so they'll give you from that side. All right. Those who were here yesterday, you could have seen the level went up compared to 2022 and compared to 2021, and the pitches were amazing. Can we give the finalists, 2023 finalists, another round of applause for being so awesome and making sure that things look good. As it was said yesterday, that some will pop today, others will pop later. So all of you are winners. The fact that you are in this room sitting here today, you are a winner, and we don't want you to stop. We want you to keep pushing, and I know that we'll definitely meet you along this journey. Again, you've seen we've got the artisans of Mzansi as well. So when you're ready to apply for that one, feel free to apply for it. All right. We're going to start with the business idea category.
And the winner is
Dylan Mshanga from Southwest Gauteng, TVET College. Okay. All right, so I got excited there and I switched things up. So Dylan is in the tech category, and I wrote bottom up instead of top down. So we'll come to the idea category now. Well done, Dylan. And just to mention, Dylan is also one of our top, he's the runner-up. So Dylan is our runner-up in the tech category. He's also one of the top 5 students in the country who played the AJAC Ellen Gray Entrepreneurship Challenge, and he's also won that as well. So well done, Dylan. Okay. Sorry, team, I made the mistake. I got excited about the money and the in-nerves Zandbamba. All right, let's go back to the idea category now, right? Well done, Dylan. So the tech winner will have to wait some more. All right, let's go back to the idea category. The runner-up for this category, coming for the second time since she took part in 2022, from Goldfields TVET College, Bianca Lesego Chao. So don't mind, it says 20.
And the winner is
And the winner of this category is from Coastal TVET College, Stulile Mkize. Congratulations. Congratulations. Her business is in the dye, so she's going to be recreating and repurposing our favorite clothes, our jeans. All right. Moving on to our artisan business category. The runner-up in this category.
And the winner is...
Okay, I'm going to announce the runner-up first before the winner. Ne? The runner-up all the way from Limpopo, Sikukune TVET College, Mr. Edward with MKV Wooden Crafts. Can we give him a round of applause? So he's from Polokwane region. Well done, sir. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. So by the time we went to print, the money was not in the bank yet. So don't mind, it still will be 25 and it will be 50 on this side. All right. All right, cool. And the winner is from Southwest
And the winner
TVET
is...
College, Nonhlanhla Zwane. Can we give her a round of applause? She walks away with 50,000 rands. So well done. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're moving on to the tech category. And we have already announced our runner-up. And the winner of this category all the way from Vembe TVET College, Tepo Gift Mutau. Well done, well done. Well done, well done, well done. To those that are using an aeroplane, I don't know how you're gonna get this up there, but all the best. All right, with our last category, which is the general business category. The runner-up in this category from Goldfields TVET College, Elisa Muloy. Awesome, awesome stuff. And as I announce the winner of this category, one of the things that we try to make sure is that no TVET college is left behind. And the winner of this category is from King Sabata Dalinjebo TVET College, Mosuli Toba. Thank you very much for your services. Zim, please remain. Can we give them a round of applause one more time? Ladies and gentlemen, these are your runner-ups and winners for the Inter-College 2023. All right. You may take your seats. Please don't go far because we will call you back for photos later on. So keep it. You can sit on it. You can, yeah. Can we give them just one more round of applause? So last year we introduced a category called the Most Entrepreneurial TVET College. And for the first time last year, we made it about the number of entries that were made in the Inter-College. And this year, we just wanted to change it up a bit. But next year, we'll make sure that we put together a proper criteria for the beginning of the year. And then every college knows what they need to do to earn their stake there. But I must say, this award goes to the college that we've seen. I know all colleges are working extremely hard to drive entrepreneurship. And it's such a pleasure to work with them. But this college last year did amazing work. This year continued to do amazing work. And what they did was they raised so much money that they had to run 2 competitions in a year. They worked so hard that even the principal is the one responsible for driving entrepreneurship. So because of the hard work that we saw with her, we then decided that let's make this award go to South Cape TVET College. Please allow Dr. Terblanche to come up front and receive this award for the Most Entrepreneurial TVET College. And we must say that they did this without a hub. So they don't have a Siferi and they work hard. Thank you very much, Zim.
Welcome to the finals of the Artisans of Mzansi Competition 2022. Yes!
I'd like to thank you and welcome you to the very first Artisans of Mzansi competition, the first of many. Over time, this room will keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Our main vision is to tackle the challenges of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. And we do this through promoting responsible entrepreneurship in the continent.
Tonight, the aim is to shine a spotlight on you, your businesses, and the artisan industry as a whole.
Contestants are each going to get 3 minutes to pitch their ideas. They cannot go beyond 3 minutes.
My name is Rose Dewitt, founder of Motayed.
I'm Lukuwe Kabelo Mashilo, founder of Excentricity.
I am Mugeti Radlabala. I am the founder of a company called LearnBase.
for any country to succeed and for any community to succeed or to survive or to be sustainable, at the core of it, the anchor of it, you need businesses, small businesses that are resilient. So for us to be able to thrive as a country, as an economy, we need these artisanal businesses right where they are.
We really need to change the perception around the technical trades. And what we've decided through the Artisan of Mzansi campaign and competition, we really want to recognize those artisan entrepreneurs who've taken their technical talent and their entrepreneurial spirit and are using it as a weapon against unemployment and inequality in South Africa.
You are in a special platform or place to create the change or create the impact that matters. Matters for who matters. It matters to you, it matters to your teams, to your employees, it matters to the communities where you come from. It truly matters for this country because we damn sure need you to be able to survive and succeed in your businesses.
My category is competing on was the mature category. The company name is Imbawenza Air Conditioning. For me, it means that I've really done well for myself and the business to actually show a contribution to the community in terms of my skills. But growing the business is the ultimate goal, and obviously contributing to the community and creating employment.
Winning means a lot to me because it means finally artisans can be recognized. But it means that my business will also receive recognition as well and will be able to grow bigger than what we currently are. It's been a very learning curve process because I've learned a lot about myself, I've learned a lot about business, and it's also been great meeting the other finalists as well, working with them and meeting the Ellen Gray Makers organization, who they are, what they're about. So that's what I'm very happy about, that I know that such an organization exists and that there is support for artisans.
It feels amazing. I didn't think I was going to win because it was quite competitive. Every single person in the competition was exceptionally great. The experience was nerve-wracking. Never in my life have I ever had anybody scrutinize the business and see our potential. I am excited that Ellen Gray has given us the opportunity to recognize artisans in the field, especially women in construction, so yeah.
Through the Artisans of Mzansi campaign, our goal is really to shine a spotlight on the artisan trades, to help young people see that a career choice in the artisan space is a great career choice. In fact, we see it as an important career choice to alleviate the social ills we have in our country. And what we're saying to TVET students is that you can turn your trade and turn it into a business idea. What we're saying to artisan business owners who are already in the space, continue to do well, continue to grow, continue to employ more people so that we can see our country grow from strength to strength.
Please welcome onto stage the 2022 Startup winner, Rosemary Dube.
Hello everyone, it's great to be back here, and thankfully today I'm not here pitching, but I'm here to announce the winner. So before I do that, may Zimkita Peters and the UNDP representatives please join me on stage. And make some noise, and you all look so beautiful. Oh. Okay, so we are also going to be adding PlumLink representatives who are also going to be awarding the awards. Okay, awesome. I think we are ready to announce the winner. So I'm going to be announcing the startup phase winner. And just like the other categories we have, we are so very honored that UNDP was also able to put forward a 50,000 Rand. Alan Gray Makers also put forward 50,000 Rand. So the grand total for this prize is a total of 100,000 Rand. Yes, please make some noise. So as we saw from the pictures, both pictures were so great, but at the end of the day, we always need to have one winner. Drum roll, please. Make some noise, make some noise. So the winner is David Mukhale.
Please welcome onto stage the 2022 Growth Stage winner, Buntle Mpela.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I must say it is good to be back on the stage. I will be announcing the growth phase winner. So I'm a bit jealous. So the winner gets 100,000 Rands from UNDP and 100,000 Rands from Alan Gray Makers. So that makes us 200,000 Rands. And the winner for tonight is, I practiced the name like countless times, Golebatswe Bukhatsu.
Please welcome onto stage the 2022 Maturity Stage winner, Thamsanqa Miyeza.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, I still feel nervous, eh? I'm not sure it's for me. I'm not sure if it's for me or the winner. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be announcing the maturity stage for tonight. Wow, yo, these are big numbers, guys. The contribution from UPN was 150,000, and additional to that, Alan Gray put in another 150,000, making the total, or the grand total, 300,000. Wow. The winner is my friend, definitely. And the winner is Mawethu Songa.
please welcome onto stage the 2022 Innovation Award winner, Moketi Ratlabala.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not Mokete. My name is Dipo Pagati, and I'm representing the judges today. So walking away with 200,000 rands from Ellen Gray Makers and UNDP for the Innovation Award is Tulani Kumalo.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage, Seth Muli.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, how has tonight been for you? Amazing, amazing, amazing. Can we give a big round of applause to the 2023 finalists and the winners of the National Inter-College Competition? Can we give another round of applause to the 2023 finalists of Artisans of Mzansi and the winners who won today as well? I am the person between you and the dance floor and dessert, and so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. But an event like this, that's been over 2 days, could not be pulled off without an incredible team and partners that have supported us. So please allow me your attention as I just give a number of thank yous. So a big thank you to Minister Stella Abrahams for being here in absentia. We had messaged her 3 weeks ago, but she made a plan to be here. A big thank you to Alan and Jill Gray Philanthropy South Africa. We call them our blessers. They keep the lights on for us. So thank you to Zimkita Peters, our incredible CEO, a visionary leader. We're inspired by you and we thank you for your leadership. Thank you to my boss, Buklet Lamini, for being an incredible leader, for stretching our capacity. So just a quick one, UNDP, Bukle was invited to New York, to the United Nations when they have, when they convene all together. And he came back and he told them about Makers, and a couple of months later, we now have UNDP as our partner. So thank you so much, Bukle, for developing that relationship. Thank you to our EXCO from Alan and Jill Gray Philanthropy, sitting over there, Roshan, Mpo, Minister of Finance, Karen, thank you so much, and Letabo in absentia, we really appreciate your support. Thank you to our principals of TVET colleges for signing off on the checks to ensure that our participants are here. Linda is saying, ooh, because without you wouldn't be here. Thank you to President and members of SACPO. Thank you to Safetsa. Thank you for College Deputy Principals of Innovation and Development. Thank you to center managers, coordinators, student support services, the lecturers responsible for entrepreneurship. Thank you so, so much. Can you please stand up, all the lecturers that supported? Can we give you a big round of applause? These are the real champions that ensured that their students were here. Thank you so much. I must, just so everyone knows, all these lecturers do this voluntarily. They don't do this to, to get paid. They do this out of their own love and passion for entrepreneurship. Linda was telling me some lecturers drove 6 hours to ensure their students got to the airport so that they could get on a flight. We appreciate you and we honor you. Thank you to our partners, the ones with the checks, future managers. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you so much. Thank you to the CEO. The CEO was very strategic. She brought the CFO, and then she cornered the CFO, and then they signed another check. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. CEO, keep inviting the CFO. And next time, let's add more zeros to that check. Thank you so much to United Nations Development Program, Ivan, I think he's just left, and Pumla Klati. Thank you so much for supporting us. They were a massive contributor to Alan Gray Makers Fest. I won't tell you the amount they gave, but it is a considerable amount to ensure that we had an incredible event, the gala dinner, the prizes, and everything that you see today. So thank you to them. Thank you to our new partner, National Business Initiative, NBI. I know some of you are here. Can we give them a big round of applause? Thank you, Bernard. We see you. We look forward to working together. Thank you to, a very special thank you to PlumLink. Luvuyo from PlumLink. I'll give you a quick story. So PlumLink is a co-funder in our Startup Academy. It is an incubation program that takes unemployed TVET graduates through a process of helping them to start new ventures. We're taking plumbers and electricians this year, 20 plumbers, 20 electricians. PlumLink has paid for all 20 plumbers. And thank you, Luvuyo, for believing in young people. We gave Luvuyo a proposal, and he quickly turned around and signed off. May this be the many more proposals that get signed off. And may you be our partner in all 9 provinces. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you to the 31 TVET entrepreneurs. Well done for being here. As I mentioned to you on the first day, this is a stepping stone towards greatness. Just because you didn't win doesn't mean you didn't win. You are out of 5,000 applications from the country. So making it to the top 31 is a huge accomplishment. So very well done to you all. 2022 Intercollege winners, Darius and Bukle, thank you so much for being here. Wave your hands in the air like you just do care. Darius sells the best hot sauce in South Africa. My wife knows, we've ordered so many. Thank you so much, and thank you, Bukle, for being here as well. Thank you to our Makers Hub alumni and current participants. You are here. Thank you so much. This program is built for you. We asked them, what do you want to see in the Makers Fest this year? And they told us, and we were able to package it for you. So thank you so much. Thank you to NSF, the entire executive team. Thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. That is the National Skills Fund. I'm not going to talk about how many billions they have, but we just might have to have police protection as they walk out, so we'll ensure. But thank you so much for being here. We look forward to collaborating and working with you all. Thank you to the exhibitors. I have a long list, bear with me, that we're here today. We had over, I think, 15 exhibitors in our midst. Thank you to Jeppy's boys as well. I'm almost done. Thank you to the Department of Science and Innovation. A big shout out to the Technology Innovation Agency, TIA. They have, if I can have your attention, they have agreed to sponsor 20 participants to go into their innovation program. So remember Mokete, who won last year? So he won last year. He then got an opportunity to get into the Technology Innovation Program. He's now painted his idea. He's commercialized his idea, and he's now going to the market, all because of TIA. So that value of that program is about 800,000 Rand per participant. So thank you to TIA for your generous support. I'm almost done. Thank you to our speakers. We had over 20 speakers today. Thank you so much for your time and your commitment. I know some of you are here and some of you have gone. All of them did it voluntarily, out of their own time, and these are international speakers. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to Shay Maxim, as Linda mentioned, for the sponsorship of the, I think it's branding and marketing support. We appreciate you guys. A big shout out to AGGPSA talent. They're sitting over there. Just wave your hand in there like you just do care. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. For spending the weekend with us, for saying no to your family. We really appreciate the time and the effort that you've put and the long hours. Finally, thank you to Alan Gray Makers team. I have to take a moment to shout out my team. I have the best team in the world. So a very big shout out to Linda Dladla for leading Intercollege 2023. A big shout out to Linda Lindani, can you please stand up? Linda Lindani, Linda Dladla, could you stand up? Who just joined us 2 months ago and is doing an incredible job. Thank you so much for your support. In absentia, thank you to Lebo Hang Mohale, who is in Eastern Cape for the Makers Fest Eastern Cape. Can we give a big round of applause in absentia? Thank you to Nosipo. Where's Nosipo? Nosipo, who's here. Big round of applause to you, who was Sikle's second in command. Thank you for creating an incredible experience and ensuring we had an incredible Makers Fest. Thank you to Ayanda Makanya, who's in charge of the Startup Academy, for an incredible women's event. Wow, very well done. Thank you to Nondwe Kali, who's also in the Eastern Cape, ensuring we had an incredible Makers Fest. Big round of applause to her. Thank you to Sandy Siwe, who's also not here, who supported as well. A big shout out to we call him our bouncer. His name is Nyakalo. He's in charge of event. There he is, look at him. He's removed his jacket just so we can see the muscles. We appreciate you, Nyakalo. Thank you for everything you've done. He is 24 years old, but he works like he's a 38-year-old man. We're really proud of you, Nyakalo, and all the incredible work you're doing. And finally, thank you to Sikle Mofo Keng. Sikle was the leader of Alan Gray Makers Fest 2023. Sikle, you've outdone yourself. A big round of applause for making sure everything runs so smoothly. He ensured Artisans of Mzansi went well, Intercollege, the look and feel, everything was Sikle. Also a big shout out to my wife as well, for the incredible support and love. I appreciate you, I love you. Thank you for letting me do what I do. Thank you to we call them the partners of Makers because we're always traveling. So thank you to all the partners, the wives, the boyfriends, the girlfriends. We appreciate you for letting us do what our partners do. Thank you to my wife. I'm married. I don't have another girlfriend. It's just my wife, just everyone knows. Cool. And then finally, also thank you to our Beat Productions right at the back. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for an incredible experience. Thank you to our guests, all of you here. You know, time is a valuable resource. So when you give away 48 hours of your time and travel away from your family, it means a lot. So thank you so much for the time you put to being here today. We don't take it for granted. I think I have covered absolutely every single... The DJ! Oh, thank you to the DJ for an incredible thing. Also, Mr. Vafa has come back 2 years in a row. I think you're going to be our resident MC, sir. A big shout out to Vafa. And also thank you to our mentors, business advisors, coaches, service providers. Further Impact is also here. We appreciate it. Also, there's a very important person that I also need to recognize. Now, look and feel is very important. Guest experience is very important. Accommodation is important. Flight is important. And we're very sad that she's moving on to another entity in our group called E Squared. But we just want to give a very special thank you to Moipone for all the work that she's done. Thank you so much, Moipone. We love you, we appreciate you, and we wish you all the best there at E Squared. Please get us some money from E Squared. Hashtag Cheryl, hashtag E Squared. Thank you to Lana Franks. The program was designed by Lana Franks. Every session, she built it into the program. Thank you so much, Lana Franks, for an incredible program and leading the programs team with all the different speakers that have been there. If I have forgotten you, I am sorry. I will acknowledge you in the future. Thank you so much.
Can we also give a round of applause to our program director, Mr. Seth Muli, for being an amazing leader. He's the one that fights the battles that we don't want to fight. Please give him a standing ovation so that he can sign our bonuses very soon. Thank you, Seth.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. Enjoy yourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Vafa Narahi.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have been amazing. My name is Vafa Narahi. See you guys next year. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.